Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, At Home with Willowberry. Or if you're new, welcome. But where have you been? I'm so happy to see you here. My name is Valerie, and in today's video, Tim is refurbishing an old wood stove. I scrubbed down some very nasty windows. We run errands, and our prayers are finally answered. We find someone to install our drywall. If you're interested to see what we've been up to this week, then I hope you'll stick around and enjoy the video. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're all doing well and that you're feeling loved and blessed wherever you are in this big old world. We're doing great. We've had a busy week of renovations here in our 1975 double-wide mobile home fixer-upper. When we moved into our mobile home, this place was falling apart, and one of the things that needed our attention most of all was the roof. The old roof was leaking everywhere, especially right above the wood stove. It's an old Fisher wood stove that was badly damaged by the leak in the roof. Not only is it all rusty, but we also have to replace the chimney. The chimney was completely rusted through above the roof line and was full of holes. So when we had the roof replaced, they cut off the old chimney. Well, today Tim's going to remove the rest of the chimney and begin refurbishing the stove. He plans to scrape, sand, and grind on the old wood stove until he gets all the rust off, and then he plans to paint it black with a heat-resistant paint. It's already Thanksgiving next week, and winter is on its way. So we need to get this wood stove back in working order. Tim will refurbish the wood stove himself, but we hired someone with experience to install the chimney. We're just waiting for the pipe to be delivered. Once the pipe is delivered, then the professionals will come and install the chimney for us. All right, let's see how Tim is going to get this old chimney out of the way so that he can start work on the wood stove. When I first saw this old wood stove, I thought it was beyond repair. Of course, I don't know anything about wood stoves, but just from the looks of all that rust, I just thought it was so badly damaged that it wouldn't be worth saving. Tim kept telling me it was fixable, that it would look like new by the time he was finished with it. I told him he was crazy and that we should just replace it. Well, would you know, about 3 different people have offered to buy this old wood stove from us, and Tim says I'm crazy for wanting to get rid of it. Well, what do I know? I guess he's just going to have to prove me wrong. I'm curious to see how he's going to make this old wood stove look new again. It's now the next day. Tim got started working on the wood stove pretty late last night, and he ran out of time. At least he was able to remove the old chimney and was able to start removing the rust. We won't be able to work on the wood stove today. We have a busy day of real-life errands to take care of. I really wanted to try out falafels, so we went to a Mediterranean restaurant for lunch to give some a try. Next, we run to Lowe's and Home Depot for more supplies, and later we have to take Max to the vet. It was a long day, so we decided to wait for another day to finish the wood stove. The drywall installers are coming first thing in the morning to get started, so I decided to do a walkthrough of the 3 rooms that are going to be drywalled. Well, when I walked in there, I realized I've never cleaned the windows, and boy are they filthy. I figured it would be better to clean the windows now than to wait until after the drywall gets installed. My reasoning was that I didn't want to damage the drywall with any water while cleaning the windows. Well, would y'all believe it's the dead of night and the whole house is fast asleep except for me? I have insomnia and couldn't sleep, so I figured this was as good a time as any to go ahead and clean the windows. I mean, they need to be cleaned one way or the other, so here I am at 3 o'clock in the morning cleaning the dirtiest windows that I've ever seen. I've really avoided washing these windows for far too long, but the drywall installers coming tomorrow has really put a fire under my butt to get it done now. It was a miserable job, but now that it's over with and the windows are clean, I can say I'm glad I made myself do it. Alright, well that was my youngest son's room. Next will be Granny's bedroom. Well, let's go see how nasty these windows are. It's amazing what you can do with a little elbow grease and a lot of determination. Well, Granny's room is officially ready for drywall, so that's 2 rooms down and only 1 to go. Next will be my oldest son's room. It's now about 4 in the morning and I'm finally getting sleepy, but I really want to finish the windows before they install the drywall, and then I'll be able to go to sleep like a baby. Do any of you have insomnia? If so, what helps you settle down and fall asleep? My mind is always running a mile a minute, and I don't know how to calm my thoughts in time to fall asleep at a decent hour. If you have any tips that might help me out, then please let me know. Alright, just 1 more window. So like I mentioned, the drywall installers are scheduled to start work first thing in the morning. Well, y'all know we already got stood up by one company. I'm so nervous that it might happen again and that there'll be a no-show. As excited as I am for drywall, I'm not getting my hopes up until I see that first sheet of drywall go up. Now that was a filthy window. Unfortunately, I have 4 more just like it, but they're going to have to wait for another day and a more reasonable hour. Alright, my fingers are crossed in hopes that the drywall installers show up first thing in the morning. But first, I'm off to bed for a few hours of sleep before it's time to get back to work on that old wood stove. It's a brand new day, and Tim is back to work on the old rusty wood stove. His goal today is to get the stove ready for paint. He's using a wire brush to remove the rust at the moment, but he'll also be scraping, sanding, and grinding on the stove until he can remove as much rust as possible. He even bought a small sandblaster. He's determined to bring this old wood stove back to life, and the sooner the better. Winter is on the way, and it's going to be cold up here in these Virginia mountains. All right, Tim's going to bring out his new toy. He ordered a sandblaster from Amazon, and he can't wait to try it out. But first, he's going to build a small barrier with plastic to contain the sand and rust around the wood stove. I can't wait to renovate the living room, which is where the wood stove is located. I can just imagine black slate tiles on the floor under the stove and silver corrugated metal on the wall behind the stove. That's just one option. Right now, all I know is I'm ready to tear down that fake brick wall and flooring. But that will have to wait for another day. In the meantime, we'll just be happy with a working wood stove. Wow, this old wood stove already looks 100 times better. We were doing some research on the stove, and we believe it's a Grandma Bear Fisher wood stove. I wish I knew how old it is. I think it's going to be very beautiful when Tim is finished refurbishing it. All right, well, we're going to head outside for some fresh air and take Max and Willow out for a walk. After that, Tim will wipe down the old stove to remove any dust and debris, and then it will be ready for paint. Tim is using a flat black paint that he ordered from Amazon, which is heat resistant. It will probably take 2 or 3 coats of paint to fully cover the wood stove and make it look new again. Alright, well, he's going to go ahead and paint the wood stove, and we're going to go get an update on the drywall. We'll check back in with Tim once he's finished painting the wood stove. I am so happy to announce that the drywall installers came first thing this morning just like they promised, and they got straight to work. We now have drywall on the ceilings in the 3 bedrooms, and Granny's room is almost completely covered in drywall. I tell you what, I couldn't have been any happier than I was when I saw them pull up the driveway this morning. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. If they keep up this pace, then it won't be long before we're painting and laying floors and moving Granny and the boys into their new bedrooms. All right, I just wanted to share the good news about our drywall situation. Let's go see how Tim's coming along on the wood stove.